Have you ever wondered how Google reviews are affecting your business? Maybe you're running a small business and you're wondering, how do I get a consistent flow of customers and sales from Google searches and just the internet in general? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about how we did this with my guest, Dr. Albert Benjamin. So, if we've not met before, my name is Emmanuel. I help small businesses get more customers and sales using online advertising. So let's get into this video. Dr. Benjamin, thank you so much for hopping in today. So, can you briefly introduce yourself and your business and what kind of services you offer?
Right. I'm Dr. Albert Benjamin. I'm medically qualified and surgically trained. Uh, I've got a company called Humanitas Healthcare Services Limited. And what, in essence, we provide uh, are sort of community surgical procedures for patients. So this can be accessed by our local patients, essentially.
Okay, and where are you based in?
Well, we're based physically in the West Midlands in the United Kingdom, just north of Birmingham, which is the second city.
Mhm.
Uh, so we provide services initially through the National Health Service. We have a contract with the National Health Service, um, which provided the base of our patient contact.
Okay, so you handle NHS and also private patients as well, is that correct?
Yes, essentially, we were initially NHS, but I realized from the feedback we were getting from our NHS patient, there
Mm.
was a great potential for the service to be expanded, uh, to give access to patients who, for reasons usually due to shorter waiting times and quicker throughput, wanted to avail themselves of our services privately. Now, I had no marketing experience of of the private sector, and so um, I, I had to get some help, and this is where Emmanuel came in. I'd known Emmanuel for a few years. In fact, he did my website, which has been appreciated and admired by quite a lot of people who've asked me, keep asking me, who's done your website. So I turned to Emmanuel for advice on increasing our profile, especially online.
Okay, so that's two services I believe is the Google reviews that we were doing for you, the Google review service and also the Google Ads campaign. So just help me to understand when we first started working together, you had one Google review. I think it was like quite some years, and I was pointing out to you that you've only got one Google review and you need to do something about that. So how did that impact your online presence at that time where you only had one review?
We had no online presence, at that time. People went to our website who knew of me, went to our website. We collected feedback ourselves,
Yeah.
but it was mainly paper-based feedback,
Okay.
and so we realized that we were significantly underselling ourselves, because we knew from our postal uh, 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 um, uh, written feedback,
Mm.
that we were providing a very good service, an excellent service to patients. But, there was, we didn't have any visibility about this.
Yeah. So that's where, it made a difference to what's now being achieved. So we started with one Google review, but now you've gained 63 Google reviews, right? And so most of them being 5 stars. How does that compare to where you started? What kind of difference have you noticed in the business?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I mean, I really can't um, capture with how it's made us as a team feel um, that we are appreciated, that we are being known, and really just seeing the Google. I mean, we knew our potential, we knew what service we were providing, but
Yeah.
it was just not visible,
Yeah.
to people, and except a local band of people.
Yeah.
So really, when you came in and told us about how we could increase our visibility and the Google reviews, I mean, the transformation and the marketing potential is good. In fact, I tell you, this only yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Monday, I
Okay.
had my annual appraisal, which we have to do as doctors to continue to have a license to practice.
Mm.
And my appraiser
Yeah.
said, look, your Google reviews is just tremendous. So my
Fantastic.
appraiser had taken the trouble of
Wow.
researching my Google reviews, and he commented very positively on this. And in fact, not only that, he
Mm.
then told me that he had a friend,
Mm.
and could I ask him and try and see if I could advise him on how to get the sort of service that I'm now getting.
Hey, I'll be happy to help with a friend. So,
Yeah,
hey, by all means,
yeah, yeah,
connect me with them and I'll be happy
yeah,
to just have a conversation,
yes,
and see how I can help. But no, I
yes,
appreciate that. One of the other things that we were doing for you is that whenever someone writes a review for you, obviously you are busy as it is. You've
yeah.
got a lot of balls to juggle, right? But I actually implemented an AI response so that each time a client would actually take the time to express their appreciation, give you a 5-star review, it doesn't go unnoticed. It actually receives a response. So one of them could be someone who's just literally writes you, I felt really comfortable. The advice I received and the treatment, my vasectomy procedure was so smooth. So we implemented a system that meant that you didn't have to worry about, let's type in all of these responses. So again, I'm happy to just show you a quick review, just share my screen because I think that will really recap to you what goes on.
Yes.
Bear with me. Let me just bring that up. So here we are. So you can see here 63 Google reviews. So whenever someone replies, so sends something to you, let's look at the newest. The newest was from Terry Stackhouse. Okay.
Yes.
And he says, excellent service, explained everything fully and very helpful. Procedure was straightforward and quick, excellent patient care. So he then received an automated artificial intelligence response. Okay. Thank you for your wonderful feedback, Terry. We're thrilled to hear that you found our service excellent and our team helpful. Our goal is to provide straightforward and quick procedures while ensuring top-notch patient care. We appreciate your kind words and look forward to serving you again in future. Now, something like this really helps Google get good signals that you're paying attention to your customers. If someone will actually come on the Google platform to write a review for you, that you are bothered enough to respond back to them. And those are things that gives Google positive signals to keep on helping you locally. So when people are searching for perhaps one of these keywords, vasectomy, injection, some of these popular keywords, it will start to show you up on that ranking. Does that make sense?
Indeed, it does. And I must add another thing here.
Hmm.
One is that the system, Emmanuel, you have implemented is very easy for the patients. Do you know? And it doesn't take much of the time. Formerly, when we used to do postal service,
Hmm.
we really it was a laborious process for the patients, for us, and also an expensive way of dealing with it. But now we have patients who are very kind and eager. Actually, they're very eager to provide a review. Now, clearly, that is because of the service they receive,
Yeah.
but it's the ease at which they can also provided the review. That I mean, you have been very instrumental in providing. So yeah, I mean, we've never had patients who say, "Oh God, it's too much trouble." What do you know, so it's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
straightforward, very simple patients process, and patients do appreciate the fact that we are asking them for their feedback because they want to
Mm.
talk about it, and it's not a laborious problem for them.
Yeah.
You know.
The great thing about this is a snowball effect that you're going to see occur in
Mm,
months to
mm.
come, whereby when people keep seeing that you're a bit more visible, and that visibility carries with it a strong online reputation, right? The decision making, do you think that might be affected positively or negatively if they keep seeing five-star reviews, 63
A
reviews,
100%
1,000,
positively,
you
a
know?
100% positively. And I tell you, I get patients who come to us who said, "Oh, we've just looked at on the internet and seen your Google reviews, and
Fantastic.
and amongst other providers, we've chosen you." You know,
Fantastic.
yeah, you know.
Oh, that is awesome. So just the other campaign we were running for you was a Google Ads campaign. We were simply running vasectomy services. I believe you charge 550 for
Yes.
that service. And so it wasn't just open. We were targeting the Walsall area, the West Midlands area, and some surrounding areas as well as London. Okay, so again, it was just to see can we get some leads as well from London, which we know carries a more expensive cost for vasectomy. I mean, what's the kind of average cost you probably heard from people who are having vasectomy in London?
Oh, some were well over £1,000,
Okay.
and I know a colleague of mine in Bristol, because we've had patients who've come from Wales,
Mm,
was charging a lot more, £800 or something like that.
mm.
Now, incidentally, we draw patients now through this ad uh, further than London, actually. And we've got one patient now who is quite willing to come and stay in a hotel overnight because it might be too bothersome for him to go back. He's coming from some Wisbech, I think, which is in Cambridgeshire. And we've had a patient from Wales, as I said.
Mm.
And so it's not just a purely West Midlands capture. It's right now. We did actually have one chap from uh, who inquired from Glasgow, in
Wow.
Scotland, and he is going to come back to us. He does have some. Sometimes he comes to Birmingham
Mm,
on business, and he was trying to consider us really as a possibility.
mm.
Mm,
That's fantastic. So,
yes,
one of the things we looked at before was the amount of leads you've received. Okay, so those leads are people who would typically they would have seen an advert, and that advert would have carried with it a specific phone number that only if they saw the advert will we know and track that this person actually came from the advert. So that's the great thing is we get to quantify and know how many leads did we receive. So you've had about 97 leads, okay?
yes, yes.
And some of them expressed that they are ready to buy or ready to have the procedure within as soon as possible. And some of them have said things like, I want it in the next 1 month or the next 2 months or next 3 months. And some people are even researching and just budgeting. Okay. So one of the
Mm,
things we implemented for you was a system that allowed them to be followed up on because
yes.
statistically, most people who come for such a procedure, I suppose they're not immediately gonna do a vasectomy tomorrow, are they? So what was that process like if they will usually contact you?
Again, that's something that works very well in the favor of patients. I mean, only yesterday, for instance, we had a patient who contacted us uh, um, from further afield. I'm not quite sure now where, and he had holidays planned. Do you know? And wanted to see if we could do it in a short time. Actually, we advised him against that, and he was quite happy to say, well, okay, fine. When I return from my holidays, can you book me in for that? So that's what we've done. So
Right.
it's the so we there's very little potential or
Mm,
very scarce potential for losing patients. Really, I
mm,
mean. Patients contact us through that, and some ask for information, for some more information, which your setup has help us to provide to them
mm.
very easily, really, by referencing them to the information or access to the information both within the Google Ads page and on our website.
Yes, fantastic. So, one of the things we discussed previously was that some people were asking questions that
That's
it's already
right.
on the landing page.
That's right.
So
That's
that's
right.
why
That's right.
we created that sequence
Yes. Yes.
of
Yes.
follow-up that began to show them and highlight specific aspects of frequently asked questions. It could be,
Yes. Yeah.
what's the risk,
Yeah.
right, of having
Indeed. Yes. That's right. Yeah.
so they will get knowledgeable
Mm.
about that before they get on the phone call with you. So
That's
they
right.
become a
That's
bit
right.
more
That's right.
confident that
That's right.
actually, I've just read this 5 point fact you sent me about the risks and is it a permanent procedure? Is it this? Is it that? Some of these questions that typically people will have on their mind. So it makes it a bit more of a smoother, easier conversation. So have you felt like you found that some people have appreciated receiving some of those
Yes,
messages?
some people have appreciated it very well. And one or two people actually,
Mm,
who, for various reasons, usually to do with geography, have
mm,
not actually uh, been able to travel all the way to the West Midlands.
mm,
They've nonetheless appreciated the information that
mm,
we provided them as as the basis on which to approach more
mm,
local to them. So there's an educational element, and of course we do many vasectomies now. Vasectomy is an expanding field as a worldwide movement to encourage men to share more responsibility
mm,
in terms of contraception. So yeah, I mean, I think even if they don't convert, they
mm.
are educated. They're
Yeah.
given access to information.
Yeah, they
Um,
have valuable something to take away as well. Mm,
Indeed, indeed, and we tell them about the World Vasectomy Day (WVD)
mm,
website, which we are also associated in terms of you know the 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 momentum we are creating and the movement we are creating
mm,
uh, with others nationally and internationally
mm,
to encouragement, as I said, more to take a responsibility or share a responsibility for an effective contraception,
mm,
which is effective in terms of the financial contraception, but also uh, um, very, very cost efficient.
yeah,
And one of the goals we're now trying to impress on
mm,
policymakers is that, look, a vasectomy is probably the most cost effective form of permanent contraception. Fab, it outweighs, um, you know, um, prescribing contraceptives to female patients over a number of years. This is a safe procedure, it's a one-off procedure, and it provides effective contraception. It's very, very cost effective.
fantastic. So, Dr. Benjamin, you've got not just vasectomy as your service that you provide. So, the essence of obviously this advertising campaign was to bring people into your ecosystem. Okay. When they come in, they get to see there's actually more sweets in the sweet shop. It's not just this one sweet I came for, but there's actually lumps, bumps, and moles, and all these different procedures and services that actually they've been thinking about going to someone else, but now they can come to you as well. So have you found that that's been something that you can upsell and show them other services that you can provide?
Undoubtedly. I mean, what the success of this initial marketing, if you like, input from Emmanuel
Mm,
has been. I see that visibility, and actually letting patients know, because they could visit our website as well, letting them know the range of services that they can access. And quite frankly, um, with the success that we've had just with vasectomy,
Yeah.
we are going to use Emmanuel to to increase the profile and visibility of the other services we provide, with others. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I've been very, very encouraged and very extremely pleased with
Mm.
what we've achieved with
Fantastic.
Emmanuel. So thank you for that, really.
Well, it's my pleasure because my heart is this that when I work with any business, my team and I is really to work as an extension of your team, right? In partnership. So that means I put myself in your shoes. What is it going to take to bring you a flow of leads that eventually
Mhm.
have those conversations that will show them there's so much more you can do for them than just this one service they might have come from. So that's essentially my heart in just in doing this, and it's a joy working with you. So I wanted to understand this, Dr. Benjamin. So looking back at the results over the past few months, what would you say to other businesses considering the Google reputation management service that I provided you? The one that allows you to get your Google reviews from 1 to 63, and people who are also considering Google ads. What would you say to those other businesses?
Well, speaking as someone who really did not know much about it, quite frankly, I am wholeheartedly would recommend the working with you, Emmanuel. And it's and another thing I must add is that you've always been very accessible. So I know you're supporting us in the background, but when we want to discuss things with you, you're always very available. So really, you provided us with a wonderful service, and I totally recommend that uh, the quality of the service you provide, the service and the support you provide to us, are very appreciated.
Thank you. So would you recommend our services to others in your industry?
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And seriously, I don't want this to look as if to say we are
Mm.
uh, co cozying up to each other. You have been very methodical. You've been very outcome focused, and what more can one wish for? You're approachable. I say, and and really, I just hope when as you become more and more successful, we, you continue in the same vein with us. You've been wonderful, really excellent.
Thank you. No, I really do appreciate that, Dr. Benjamin. So, I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add about your experience working with us that you might want to share with others?
Well, as I said, I'll go over the old ground. It's you've been approachable, you've been very supportive,
Mm.
you are always contactable, you're pleasant, which is very important. You're kind. You're uh, um, uh, objective focused. You're focused on the outcome, and I appreciate that really. So you, I consider you really as part of our team, or if you like, you could consider us as part of your team. Do you know? But no, thanks for everything. I think I no, it's been wonderful coming across you. From the time we did the website,
Mm.
that website is actually just um, appreciated by so many people. Do you
Okay.
know? And your advice, really, because to be frank, I am not myself. I'm too focused on the clinical provision, and it's wonderful to have your support in terms of the AI and the technology and just the marketing, really. So that's been important. I've learned a lot.
Awesome. Awesome. Look, thank you so much. That's all the questions I've got for you.
Yes,
I really do appreciate your honesty, and thank you.
yes. No, wonderful. You have a good day then, please.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, okay, thanks. Okay.
Did you get some value from that interview? If you did, can I ask you to subscribe to this channel? That way you'll be kept in touch with every single time I post a new video. And I'd love to also keep in touch with you. So please go ahead and press the like button if you like this video. Drop a comment. Every single comment, I will read it. And if you just want to do one more thing for me, just share it with someone that you feel will really benefit from watching a video like this. It really helps Google, the YouTube algorithm, to begin to drop this to the people that this really matters to. And so if you're also running a small business and you're currently struggling to get some customers and sales through the door, I'd love to help. Let's have a quick conversation. Just book a quick 15-minute free chat with me on my calendar. The link is in the description. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye.